up everybody. I've just been doing my wife's car, giving it the sheep oil treatment with this Lanoguard. I've never used it before, and I'll show you what I've been up to. I've took a few videos of what I've done, and I'll explain later exactly what's involved and you know, and what to expect. It's not a review on the actual product because I've never used it before, but my wife's car is 11 years old. It's never been touched underneath before, so I'll be cleaning all that and then applying this, and I'll later on in the video I'll explain how long it took and what's needed to do it, and an exact review from my perspective on the application process. Well, I've just dragged myself out at sheep dip because when you've had a day working with that stuff, you do tend to start smelling like a sheep farmer, I think. It's not a bad smell, but it does attach to your clothing and your skin, you know, when you've been using it for a day. I've seen some videos and some literature where it says quick jet wash, quick 20-minute to 30-minute application, jobs are good 'un. Well, I don't think so. If you want to do it properly and thoroughly, you've got to spend a bit of time on preparation work. And also, that's not included in that time that they say is, you know, getting the car jacked up safe and securely and belt and braced. So, in my case, a set of car ramps, 2 sets of axle stands, wheel chocks and a set of tooling, etc. You've got to make sure that when you've got that car up in air that it's going to be safe and sound, because you have got to really get under the car. It's no good doing it from side. You've got to approach it from all different angles to make sure you hit all that metal work. So belt and brace is my saying. Make sure that 1 to 2 ton that you've got up in air is going to stay there while you're underneath it. So what I did, I got the front up on the car ramps, because the front bit's the heaviest, isn't it, usually. Secured that then with axle stands to belt and brace it, just in case. Then I went to the rear of the car, got that up in air on the jack, put my axle stands under to belt and brace it, put wheel chocks in, and I left the front wheels on while I did the back. So then I took the back wheels off. Once I was happy that everything was safe, then you've got to take the plastic trims off the wheel arches. So you know that takes time. So by the time you've done all that, and by the time I jet washed the back, you know, it were from 8 o'clock in the morning, it were getting on towards 11 o'clock in the morning by the time I jet washed it, so that were 3 hours, wasn't it? So when I jet washed it, it's a nice hot sunny day. I went and had my dinner at a pub, Sunday dinner. 2 hours later, come back, it were bone dry. So then I applied the Lanoguard. It's quite easy to apply, and a little goes a long way. So you don't have to over apply it, as long as you cover everywhere. I think in some places, because I attacked it from every angle, you know, I probably ended up putting a little bit too much on. So I did get a few drips come down. So if you're bothered about your floor area, you need to put some protection down, some cardboard or a covering if you're bothered. Now once them drips have stopped dripping, I got the plastic trim back on the rear, put the wheels back on, left it up in the air, because once all that's done, from working from the back, you can get from the back of the vehicle right up to the front engine bay in one fell swoop by doing it that way. Then once the back wheels are back on, I then went to the front wheels, took them off, took the trim off. Now in my case, the front wheel arch trims were more complicated to take off than the back, because they're the full arch of the wheel. Not only that, they used about 5 different types of fixings that you could think of, and then some of the plastic fixings broke, so make sure you've got some fixings to replace any plastic ones. You may need them. So that took quite a while. I jet washed it all like you've seen, then I left it for an hour in the afternoon while it dried off. So once it were dry, then I applied the Lanoguard, then let any drips of that stop dripping. Then I can get the wheel arch trimmers back on, get the wheels back on, get the car back down to the floor safely, and by the time I'd got everything put away, all my tooling and that, put away. You can more or less say that was 7 or 8 hours of working steadily, safely and securely and thoroughly. I'll add that in, thoroughly. It's no good like doing half a job. If you're only going to spray half on it and leave the bits that you can't see alone, it's not worth doing it, is it? You've got to get them plastic trims off to make sure you hit everywhere. So this was a 5 litre drum that I bought. This is a 1 litre spray that came with the kit. I've used a full litre and say half a litre on that small car. So you know, a little goes a long way actually, and it goes on quite easily. But as for doing it in half an hour, I don't know where they get that from, because if you're going to do a job right, allow yourself a full day. And maybe allow yourself a bit longer if you've got to do it in a day where it's not a very good drying day, you know, once you've jet washed it. So maybe next time I'll be able to do it a little bit quicker now the car's been done once, because you know, that car's nearly 11-year-old and it's never been touched, so maybe it's took me longer to prepare it, I don't know. So maybe next year it might be quicker, and then maybe next year I can actually do a review of the product, because I've got no experience of using this product. That's just my first experience of actually applying it. Anyway, I hope that helps you for anybody that's thinking of doing it, and if you find it useful and interesting, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe, I'd appreciate that, and I'll catch you next time then. Thanks for watching, bye for now.